this session, as I said, it's going to be expert training and it's day one. So what we will be focusing on is like we'll keep Dynamics as one system, okay, and we will see what are the different applications that can integrate with Dynamics. That is the ideology about this. Okay. So as part of the first session, let's take a scenario where Dynamics is holding the data. The data of Dynamics can be exposed outside by using a service. Okay. So how to create a service from Dynamics and try to expose it outside and try to use it within the Postman. That is the first step actually to ensure that all the I'm able to interact with the Postman. I need to get it and other things. There are certain steps towards it. Okay, if you wanted to expose your service or whatever, that is what this current session is about. So this is a scenario we'll just see today. We are going to create a new service method in finance and operation and expose it for external application usage. When I mean to say external application, this can be a .NET application or a Power Apps application, or it can be a Java, whatever application it can be. How an external application can come in and consume the service of Dynamics. Okay. To simulate this, okay, we will not build a application directly in .NET and we will just try to access a service. What we will do, there'll be I think you would have used this Postman utility. If not, okay, I'll just explain you. Postman is a tool which has been used for testing any services. Doesn't mean it's a finance and operation service or what. I built some services in .NET, some web services, okay, and I wanted to check whether the services are working fine. Or I am purchasing a timesheet app. Those guys are having some list of API services. I wanted to check whether the services are working or not properly. So in that case, the Postman is the first tool. You'll go and check. Hey, first initially I'll just throw some inputs, get some outputs from there. Is it going correctly and coming out correctly? Right. So to do that, that is the first step for any integration to start with. So today we will see how to create a small service in Dynamics and use the Postman to communicate with that particular service. Okay. To do that, I require three tools today. One is going to be finance and operation application. That's a development machine. And second is Azure connectivity. Third is Postman. So we require Azure in between. The reason because whenever a request comes from the Postman or any other third-party utility, it has to direct to Azure, and that Azure token will connect back to the finance and operation. So there is no direct link between any of the application which is going to come. Okay, so this is the reason because the finance and operation is a tool like where it contains all the data like marketing, finance, procurement, purchase. It contains everything actually, right? So that is a secure environment. So only the person who is authenticated can access the system. That is the idea for this. Okay, so we are going to do some activity in Azure also today. And what are the things we are going to do in finance and operation? So I'm going to create a normal class which is going to have a simple service method. Then I'll create a service, then service group, and I'll expose it outside. I'll just explain you what all these things, terminologies. Yep. Then how to register an app in D365. So this I'm going to do.
Sorry for the here I have one doubt. Shall I ask you? Is it
Yeah,
okay?
sure, go ahead. Yeah, okay, you can, yeah.
Yeah. What is my doubt here that Azure that we are creating that secret ID and everything, right? Here, Azure, that second one.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Here, that Azure, that secret ID and everything, this is we are using only for a security purpose, that authentication purpose only, or some other purpose we are using this Azure. You got the question, right?
Yeah, I got your question. See, what happens is not only for authentication. So if you log into Dynamics, you will be assigned with a role, right?
Yes.
Okay, you will be assigned with a role, and depending on the role, it will show you the list of screens available.
Yes,
Let's say
modules.
module. So you say that accounts clerk, it will show only the accounts clerk information. It will not show production data. Correct.
Yes.
So
Yes.
similarly, what we will do, like whenever a third-party application that comes and going to deal with sales order information, okay.
Okay.
So we will create a role so to
Mm.
expose only the sales order information and we'll associate to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and we'll create a client ID and we'll associate this role to the client ID. So now what happens is that Anyone who tries to have an access to this particular machine by using this client ID will be accessing only that particular data. They can't go any further and see anything that is available.
So they cannot be used another module, another
They
data.
cannot.
In
They
that
cannot.
sense.
Yeah, they
Okay.
cannot. That passes through the security of Dynamics, actually.
Oh, okay.
That is very important because previously, if you have worked in AX 2012, okay, I'm not sure if you guys have experience in that. If you have worked in AX 2012 or 2009, the other side, okay, there will be a production database that will be available within your premise. You can hook
Yes.
over that saying, okay, give the SQL Server name, password, and other things. Then you will be inputting some data by using a .NET application, and finance and operation will also put some information right there. Correct. Finally, it
That's
will
right.
be mess
Yes.
up. Correct. Yeah. So now to mitigate that, what they said, hey, SQL Server only, I will not give you. Anything you want to communicate, Azure has to authenticate and say that this is the preferred application or not. Okay. So even I did actually. So like my first project was like that. So we are working for one of the company. What they will do, like, okay, they'll just have a UAT machine. If something production order is stopped, they'll just another person will be there. He'll open the SQL Server. He'll update some commands. Now the order will be confirmed. Yeah, you can go ahead actually. So we can do literally whatever we want in the backend. Correct. So once we have the SQL data, but here the authentication is like a very secure. You can't even access the SQL Server. Actually, if at all you want to do that, you have to pass through Azure security to doing this. Did that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yeah. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Partha, can we give the admin role to the user? Means
We
in the
can.
Azure?
We can. So I'll tell you how to associate it actually. So
Okay,
while we
sure.
create, we'll physically create one today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was here actually. So I was saying that in finance and operation, we are going to create a simple class, service, and service group. Okay. And what we are going to do in Azure, we are going to create a web application, and we are going to say that, hey, I am in a particular directory called sinacloud.com, and anyone who comes here who are authenticated to use or enable this ERP application, then I'll be getting a separate client ID, client secret, and which tenant. This is the authentication mechanism by which they'll have to communicate. So today I'll just show you how to build this from the scratch also. Okay, all these informations. And to do in Postman. So because we had three applications, right? So in Postman, we need to create a collection. First, we need to generate a token. Token generation is something like to do authentication. It's like a handshake. First, I successfully connected to that particular machine. After connecting to that machine, you can just pass your queries. You can get the data, you can post the data and other things. Okay. So these are the other three activities we do it in Postman also. And let's jump into the demo.